Level 1A helmet safety. No matter how many hours of training we put into a horse, no matter how many precautions we take, there will always still be a risk of becoming seriously injured or dying from horses. Even though they're the sweetest creatures on the planet, there will always still be a risk. Horses are made to just react to whatever stimulus they see. They are not made to be aware of us, even though they love us. Probably. Even though they love us and they care about us, they don't have the mental capacity in order to be aware of us when they're scared. They don't have the ability to think about where we are and to move around us. They just react to stimulus. And the reason is because we're riding an animal that has a brain of its own, a mind of its own. We're not riding a motorcycle without a brain that just does whatever we do with it. We're riding an animal that can make its own mistakes. But not only that, this animal also has a brain that works entirely different than ours. Their brain is actually missing a prefrontal cortex. Well, not missing, it just doesn't have one. And that's the part of our brain that helps us to make decisions, plan for the future, be structured, be organized, think about the future. Horses don't have that. They're just living in the present. So when we see something scary on the hill coming over and we see something, the signal will go to our eyes, and the eyes will send it to our visual cortex in the back of our brain. And that will read whatever our eyes are seeing. And then that sends that information to our prefrontal cortex in the front of our brain. And when it gets there, our prefrontal cortex thinks about the information that it's seeing, and it says, what is that? What do I see? Oh, it's just a biker. Should I do anything about it? Maybe I can move out of the way. So our brain thinks about it, processes the information, and then it sends the information to the back of our brain where we have a motor cortex, and that causes us to act on what our prefrontal cortex has decided. Oh, I'm going to move out of the way for this biker to come through. Okay? Now, if I went and I saw something come over the hill and I go, what is that? And my brain's, it's going to go to my visual cortex. It's going to send to my prefrontal cortex. I'm going to start thinking about it. Oh, it's a bear. I need to react. What should I do? I don't know what you do with a bear. Make noise or whatever, or maybe back away. I'm not sure. But you see a bear, you think about it, you do whatever your brain thinks is right. It sends it to your motor cortex, and your motor cortex is going to act appropriately according to the knowledge you have. With horses, they don't have that prefrontal cortex. So if a horse sees something come over the hill suddenly, that horse goes, something's over there. The visual will send it to their visual cortex. And their visual cortex will say, I see something over there. And it will go straight to their motor cortex. So it says, we see something, run. So the horse literally doesn't stop to think, doesn't do anything. It just runs in the opposite direction, like that. She doesn't want to kill me, but that doesn't mean that her brain has the capacity to know where I am when she's scared. She does not. Stasia, right now, something could happen right now over there that could terrify her, and she could just plow into me and I could become hurt. Something over here could scare Sassy and she could just kick me in this moment and I could be injured. Her brain literally does not make the connection and does not have the capacity to think about where I am when she's scared. Their body sees, then reacts. And so it's just a risk of being with horses that I can become seriously injured no matter what. So if we're riding this creature, we should probably take as much precautions as we can. A common thing that happens is riders fall off and hit their head. And if you hit your head, you can injure it really bad. You can be in a coma. You can be in the hospital for months. You can take months in the hospital and then months after to heal. If you wear a helmet, it minimizes that risk even smaller, so that in the chance that something happens and I couldn't have done anything about it and I got hurt and I was wearing this helmet, then there's a better chance that I have quick recovery. I can just go straight back to my horses within a few days, within a few weeks. I can go back doing what I love. But if I don't have a helmet on, I might have to spend months in the hospital. I might have to spend months paying hospital bills after that. We should wear a helmet because that lowers our risks even more of having terrible injuries. I try to lower it all the time, and still sometimes I'm still dumb, like I'm standing behind a horse right now. But I like to try to minimize my risks because I love doing horses and I love what I do, and I don't want to end it. I don't want to have one injury that destroys my whole career. So I choose to take the precautions and lower my risk as much as possible. And so can you. Let me show you how to put on a helmet and how to know if it fits. This is a horse helmet. This is made for riding horses and falling off of horses. This will protect my brain the best out of any helmet there is. So when we put this on, you're gonna first put it on your head. You wanna tighten it, and you wanna make sure it's like holding your head on both sides. Then you know it's your side. So if I wiggle it, it's still kind of a little wiggly, but it's staying on my head, versus let me loosen it. See that? If it's doing that, so that's way too big. So I'm gonna tighten it. And now it's on my head, it's pretty good there. Then what I'm gonna check is the top part. I'm going to take my thumb right here, and this part of your thumb is about 1 inch long. So this part, you're gonna take it above your eyebrow, and you're gonna put it there, and your helmet should rest about 1 inch above your eyebrow, like that. Then, to tighten the sides, there should be a little triangle. Let me get my hair out of the way. There should be a little triangle around your ear. Yeah, that's your goal. So I just feel it. I feel for it to be kind of like a triangle around my ear. And then once it is, you can click it in. It doesn't have to be super snug to your head, but it can just be a little open where it feels good, but it still holds it on. And then you should be all set. That is how we put on our helmets. In order to pass with level 1A, you just got to understand that horses don't have a prefrontal cortex. So when they react, they just react without thinking. So even if they love you, they might still hurt you because they don't have the ability to think about you when they're scared. Number 2 is know how to place your helmet correctly. So we'll watch for those triangles 1 inch above the eyebrow, and that it's secured to your head and it's not wiggly.